Welcome everyone to episode 45 of the Video Game Book Club. I'm Tubby Mora, and today I am joined by Nakuso. Just Nakuso. Say hello, Nakuso.
Hello, Nakuso.
Hello, Nakuso. And this time around, we're going to be focusing on Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This game...
That's not what you think. Wait, tell me that's not what you think.
This game was nominated by Nakuso. And it was selected on the Wheel of Mystery with, get this, a 1 out of 1 chance or 100% chance of winning. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Congrats, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely check out the previous episode. The I think it was Kill It With Fire. Check that one out to see how that score happened. But anyways, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was developed by Insomniac Games, published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, and was originally released on June 11th, 2021 for the PlayStation 5. And it will be coming to PC on July 26th, 2023. That was recently announced, so definitely hop on that. On Insomniac Games' official website, it reads, quote, "Go dimension hopping with Ratchet and Clank as they take on an evil emperor from another reality. Jump between action-packed worlds and beyond at mind-blowing speeds. Compete with dazzling visuals and an insane arsenal as the intergalactic adventurers blast onto the PS5 TM console." But that's how the website describes the game. How would everyone here describe the game? And the order of presenting will be Tubby Mora, and then Nakuso. And please be advised, there may be spoilers ahead. And with that said, let's get started. Question 1. Describe the game in 1 sentence. So, for me, this is how I would describe it. In Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, you play as Ratchet and mostly Rivet, with a bit of Clank, a small slice of Kit, and occasionally Glitch, the nanobot, as you take down the evil Nefariouses in a game that will make you want to rift open a new one. And by the end, you will be saying, "Damn, that was a fun time. Blowing stuff up is fun." Amen. What about you, Nakuso? How would you describe
For
it?
me, I have Rift Apart takes the Ratchet and Clank series into the next dimension, where you have the finest tools of destruction, visuals that go up your arsenal, and more collectibles than a longback species.
Dang, freaking references! And if you know, and if you got those references, you guys just freaking pat yourself on the back. You are a Ratchet and Clank aficionado. Thank you, Nakuso. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to question 2. What platform did you play the game on? And briefly describe your playstyle towards the game. So I played the game using a physical disc on the PlayStation 5 while playing on a God of War Ragnarok limited edition DualSense wireless controller. It's pretty good. As for my playstyle, I had one goal in mind, and I'm sure my friend Nakuso here can agree with me. 100% everything. Beat the main missions, beat every single side mission, collect all the guns, find all the gold bolts, show off all your style with all the outfits, slap every single Krager bear, tear open each rift limb from limb. You know, it's just, we would not stop until we unlocked the coveted platinum trophy, signifying that, oh, not for Nakuso, but for me, it signifies that I have no life, dang it. And my fellow gamers, I want to say that I accomplished it. Everything is 100% as of right now, minus the boots. But we'll talk about that in a second. Was it worth it? Oh, hell yeah, it was. I don't regret any second of it. It's Ratchet and Clank, man. This is my childhood. This is Nakuso's childhood. We were going to go 100% with our childhood without a shadow of a doubt. The moment this game, Nakuso picked it, we freaking mind linked and we knew that we were going to 100% this game. So I'm going to pass the mic over to you, man. Here, you take it away. It's all yours.
I played this game on the PlayStation 5 with my God of War Ragnarok controller.
What? You too? Holy crap. But?
When my God of War Ragnarok controller was charging, I just used the standard controller for the PS5.
No fancy name?
No, it's just the standard.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But for the most part, like you did, I did everything in the game, 100% it. Also played a little bit of New Game Plus, and I'm pretty sure you did as well.
Yep.
I mean, you had to.
You had to.
But I played a little bit like into the second planet just to see the changes, and I also played on the second hardest difficulty during my original run, and then a little bit on the second run. I played on the hardest difficulty. I mostly used I wanted to talk about weapons. The weapons that I used the most was the Eviscerator, the Cold Snap, the Pixelator, the Warmonger, the Void Reactor, which is the shield. I think that's the upgraded name when it upgrades at level 5. Mr. Fungi and the Glove of Doom.
Ooh,
coming all the way from the first Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're like me, where as you're playing, the moment it hit V5 or level 5, just swap that weapon out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
I did use all the weapons at least once, to try it out. And as you were saying, once it got to level 5, I just swapped out 4 new 5 weapons, just to level them up, because it felt like a waste. The only time I use a level 5 is if I'm I just need to break something out because I'm about to die or something.
Yeah, like a panic weapon.
I gotta bring out the classic Eviscerator for the panic weapon, or if I need health in a pinch, upgraded Pixelator.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are gonna 100% this game, there's a good chance that you will V5 or level 5 all the weapons before your playthrough is over.
Yeah, by the end, I had a good chunk, at least half of the weapons to level 5.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Also, I played with big head mode and tiny head mode throughout my gameplay. I got the gold bolts.
Oh, good thing you mentioned that. Freaking, I played with RPG mode on, so always seeing the damage numbers.
Dude, I always had that on once I got it.
Yeah, I just like to see stats. Keyblades for both of them.
I was like, what? A Keyblade? Oh, good meme.
And then rupees for everything in honor of Legend of Zelda.
Oh, the rupee. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot we could talk about. Well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, all right. But that's it for me.
Okay. Question 3. What are 3 things you liked about the game? And Nakaso and I will be alternating here. So for me, this is an obvious one. The Ratchet and Clank series is praised for many things, but you can't talk about a Ratchet and Clank game without mentioning the guns. The guns in this game are glorious, an absolute blast to use. Excluding your trusty wrench or hammer, there are a whopping total of 20 unique weapons, each of them with their own share of strengths and weaknesses, unless you whip out the Rhino, because there are no weaknesses when you're ripping the universe a new one. But the variety here, man, this thing is... It's a nice mixture of old callback weapons, like the good old classic Glove of Doom, the Buzz Blades, and of course there were some newcomer weapons such as the Ricochet and Negatron Collider, which is just this giant freaking laser beam. Sick. The amount of destructive potential with each of these weapons is just fun to use. The way they incorporate that haptic feedback for the trigger when you're using the weapons is great. A lot of the weapons rely on this whole pull the trigger halfway. It uses a part of the gun, or maybe it's used for aiming, and then you can pull it fully to launch the entire destructiveness of the weapon. And it's just great that they really thought about using the triggers.
This is the best game to utilize a PlayStation 5 controller.
And you're asking me about it, Nakaso, if there's another game that did that, and I realized there is another game that did it. And it was actually one of the first games we played year 1 of VGBC, and that was Control, because I put down the PS5.
I played on PS5.
So yeah, it also did that too. It had a little bit more tension with the triggers, but yeah, Ratchet and Clank, they really freaking pulled out all the stops with the controller. So yeah, weapons were freaking awesome in this game. Just as with many Ratchet and Clank games, that's one of the key hallmarks of a really good Ratchet and Clank game, and this one checks all the boxes. So gonna pass it over to you. What about you? What did you like?
Nothing. I was joking.
This game freaking sucks.
What I liked, surprisingly, okay. I'm not sure how you felt, but in a future series for the Clank segments, I did not like the time manipulation, the puzzles when you're playing as Clank.
Yeah.
Rewind, fast forward.
Okay.
I just didn't like that particular amount of gameplay, but surprisingly, I really like the non-Lombax segments and Rift Apart.
Okay.
With Glitch and stuff. I was like, they could make a spinoff of this. I was like, they could make a spinoff like of a series.
Yeah, that actually surprised me too. Like how much character and heart was on that was made for that character. So kudos to them.
Dude, I was like, if this came out in PS2 era, you had a PSP, and that would be a spinoff like the Clank game.
Yeah.
Like Secret Agent Clank. Oh man. I just had fun. It was like it was like simple and easy, but it was just cool how they did it with the whole going around destroying the viruses, having a little sub story.
Yeah, yeah.
And also the Clank segments I really enjoyed. Like this time they used the whole puzzle ball with the speed, momentum, the airlift, and also the ability to like crash through those barriers, and just like coming and putting them together is super. It's like pretty easy, but it's not like easy to the point where you don't have to think. Like a couple of them took me a little bit, but it didn't feel overbearing as much as the time stuff in the feature series.
Yeah, they've really streamlined it with this one.
Also, it's like again with these puzzle segments, there was a little story stuff of Gary and Clank kind of talking about the whole, being his whole purpose and hero stuff. It's like cool.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. And also, what was neat about it, once you complete a puzzle, you could just teleport to the end.
Oh, thank God! Quality of life change. Thank you.
Yeah, and also. For a lot of the puzzles, you could just stand in one area and just like look to throw the ball instead of having to go up close.
Yes.
So I was like, oh my God. Like a lot of games, you would have to like go close and attach the specific ball for the Clanks to go through. But this one, it was just so easy to visualize where to put each piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
From far away.
They did a good job with like just figuring out the context for the aiming. It's pretty accurate, actually. It's kind of scary. They knew exactly what we were looking at or looking for. So, well done. Well done.
Yeah. Solid. How about you? What's your second like?
Oh, man. Dude, collectibles. Freaking collectibles in this game. They're awesome. These collectibles actually made me want to, believe it or not, actually collect them in the game. Like, it was great.
Like a purpose?
Yeah, like there was a purpose behind them. It was crazy. Like by collecting these gold bolts and doing the side quests, you can unlock things like wrench and hammer skins, bolt replacements, like I said earlier, like the rupees, just completely changing what came out of there. Just different rendering modes, like the RPG mode we were talking about with the damage numbers, or you can even make the game look very, very bad and horrible by turning it into a VHS home movie where everything is very like barely visible.
It's so funny.
That's great, man. Like I was saying, just by the end of the game, Ratchet and Rivet using keyblades and rupees flying from everywhere. It was awesome.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Different reality.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but one thing I really appreciate this game that many games often do is like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, it didn't lock all these extras until the very end of the game. Like you had the ability to unlock everything as you progressed. And once you collected enough gold bolts, you even had access to infinite ammo and health. And when that happened, I shamelessly turned it on. Like I felt unstoppable. I felt like I had earned it. And I felt like I had the right to destroy everything now with the infinite rhino.
And that is like, it's not like near the end.
No,
pretty much in order to get the infinite stuff.
Yeah.
Almost collecting every gold boat.
Normally, I'm kind of opposed to like things like such as like God mode in games, especially like if you can just turn on at any time. But with this game, I didn't feel as bad doing it because by the time and by the way, we were like Nox and I were playing on the second hardest difficulty. Like by that time you're getting towards the end, you're already broken. It's just like having this and knowing that you earned it, it felt different. And for me, it's like that allowed me to just flip that switch on. Like I didn't care anymore. I was going to destroy Dr. Nefarious and I was going to have fun doing it. And yeah, it was worth it. I love the way they did the collectibles and the way the game gave you the tools and pieces slowly. Like they didn't just show everything, show you everything. You still had to explore to find things, but as you progress through the game, they give you more and more ways and options on how to approach getting these collectibles. Like the fact that they included the what was that upgrade when you like smack the ground with your wrench and then it blows up all the boxes. I don't even know what it's called, but
I forgot what it's called. But that's in the past Ratchet and Clank
yeah.
too.
But the fact that they like locked it behind like the third level of the arena, it's like it's such a great. It's not like a super necessary item, but it's awesome knowing the fact that you earned that too by completing the various challenges, and that just made it even easier to collect things. It's like that approach to collectibles is it's so good, and they really nailed it. Like that's the reason why I even wanted to 100% the game in the first place, because they made it so accessible. They didn't make it. I didn't have to like go on YouTube to freaking search every single thing and or how to find it. It's like it just came naturally just by playing, and I really appreciate that. So thank you, Ratchet and Clank. What about you, Noxo?
Second thing that I liked is the visuals.
Yeah,
this game is insanely pretty when it comes to the amount of stuff, the art style of the game, and just like how crazy with each game for the next series that they get.
yeah.
They always like to show off like at the start of the game. They always just like to show off everything featuring the new tech of a console. And man, what can I say? Just the way the visuals play into like how many different like, animations and details that's on the characters, like the goons for hire.
Mm-hmm.
It's like seeing there's a lot of details. Like wow, they really went all out with like
muscles,
the textures and like their teeth. It's like the imperfections on stuff like Dr. Nefarious Sisters, Nefaria Eye.
Nefaria Eye.
I get to see inside his helmet easier than the older games. It's like all the mechanical things spinning,
Mm-hmm.
and just like all the details on Ratchet and Rivet with their fur, like Clank and the shininess, especially if you turn on ray tracing.
Yep.
This is like
So good.
It's great. It's so good. It's like Ratchet and Clank is like the series I actually do this with the most, where I just like stop and look around.
Yeah.
Because there's so much stuff happening like in the background, like in the sky or below, like moving. Like it's really cool to just appreciate what the developers or programmers and artists just came up with.
Yeah, I mean, you could just stand there, boom, wallpaper.
Yep,
that cityscape, wallpaper, easy. It's so funny too, because I remember when Ratchet Clank Future came out for the PS3. That was also one of the biggest praises that a lot of critics gave. They would compare it to like a Pixar film, with how clean everything looked and just like the visuals, and it's just like you wouldn't think it would keep getting better, but like Noxo said, they somehow continue to make each Ratchet and Clank look better than the last. So well done,
it's excellent.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, how about you? Your third,
man. Jeez, there's still so many things I want to talk about, but this is a big one. It's such a small thing because it's so simple, but I gotta give credit to where credit is due, and I gotta say, like, I am so glad that you can customize the armor. Like, it's so cool that there's armor bonus sets. I don't know if that was a thing in the past. I can't remember.
Wasn't it in Deadlocked?
I don't remember. It's been so long.
I think it may, or was it just weapons in Deadlocked?
I think it's just the weapons. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below if you want. But and when I say like customization for the armor, I also mean like being able to color each of the pieces too. Like all that. Oh yeah, the helmet, the chest, the boots. I know that is that's a unique feature. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe I could be wrong. Let me know.
It was in, that one PS3 game we never got to play. Into the Nexus.
Just watch, yeah. That's where it first appeared. But yeah, I really appreciate the different armor bonuses, different armor sets that you could collect. And I also liked how they did the throwback armor sets. Like that was so unexpected.
Awesome.
Yeah, the Marauder armor from Ratchet & Clank Deadlock, like that's very iconic. The Commando armor from Going Commando, and just also they had the Clank armor. It was nice to see Insomniac paying homage like to their past Ratchet & Clank titles. It was just fun.
You don't see this in a lot of games these days either. You know, with the whole cheats and the different kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, that
you can just like use.
Normally that'd be like paid DLC, seasons, battle pass, final unlock. But nope, Insomniac was like, nah, here you go, have it. It's free. It's part of the game. What? So yeah, it was awesome. And the armor was just fun to mess around with. It just, look cool, style on your foes as you're obliterating them. So that's something I really appreciated. What about you? Last thing.
Last one, I think, in terms of the design and levels, this kind of ties in somewhat with the visuals. I love the planets in Rift Apart.
Yep.
Like each planet, as always in Ratchet and Clank games, have their own uniqueness. Just the way they kind of use the rifts with this one, just like changed it and kind of just took it to the next level for me. Like specifically Blizzard Prime, when you're just smashing those crystals into this transitions to the alternate dimension.
Yeah,
it's like everything is just like messed up, and
that was really cool.
And it's like, I was like, how quick can this transform? But dude, every time you hit it, it just instantly just loads that. It's
like a layered level.
So I know this is like, no, I'll say it. This may have been done before in other games, but for me personally, I have never seen anything like this. Just like the seamless transferring to rifts to different dimensions. How it plays in certain boss fights. How it plays going through each level, or just like transferring from different areas when you're just going around. Just in general, I just thought like all the planets, Sargasso was fun. Playing as Rivet, it was cool on different planets. You got different experiences with the different characters. Savali was the open world area where you get the what was it called? The jet boots or whatever. Yeah. The ones that make you go fast.
Yeah. Speed.
Speed. Once I got the speed, this is so fun exploring those planets. Just each planet, the snow one was also really good. How it used the same mechanics as Blizzard Prime with the crystals, just going underground and underwater. I would just say like the way the levels are structured, fighting different enemies from past and future titles, and just like how it flows and the platforming throughout each of these levels. It was just great. This is fun.
Oh yeah. And then you do that one section. I mean, of course it's not scary to us, but that one level when you're like, I forgot what planet it was, but you're going off. Do you know which one it is? Is it Cordillion?
That's the one I was just talking about with the snow.
Yeah, and then you go underground, and then you're like being hunted by like that alien creature. Like, I mean, for us, that's definitely, it's not really scary, but I can imagine kids who grow up with this game, that's probably something that they're going to reference, as they get older and be like, oh my God, remember, man, when that one level of Ratchet and Clank, oh, that was so scary. But
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I was happy though when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, this is freaking Alien, but in Ratchet and Clank form. Like, this is great.
I kind of just feel like each of the levels got more, like, how in other Ratchet and Clank games, it feels like, there's platforming and there's the shooting. I feel like these levels, these different planets really played into the roles of their own uniqueness with their own gimmicks.
Yeah.
Like you had Sargasso with Trudy and Flying in the Sky. You had Coruscant 5 with Nefarious City. You had those barriers to go through. You had Blizzard Prime, the one where you had to go through different alternate dimensions. You had Savali, the open world, and like you were saying, Cordillion, that station.
Yep.
It's like sort of like a horror-ish type elements.
Yeah. That was awesome. But yeah, they did a really good job with the variety. But man,
that is it for me, man.
All right. Move on to question 4. What are 3 things you did not like, and how would you improve it? And again, we're going to be alternating for this. So, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Hot take.
Okay. And feel free if you don't want to agree with me. That's cool. I understand. This is kind of. I might be reaching here, but weird as it may seem, I think if you're going to do a game about breaking open rifts, traveling through alternate dimensions, like I feel like you really need to go all in, because there's a lot of games that try that, like Bayonetta 3. But especially with the game series that has like a really long, colorful number of entries, such as Ratchet and Clank, there's just so much untapped potential this game could have worked with. Like, for instance, like remember in the very beginning of the game when you're crashing through the rifts and you're going through every single, like all these different worlds. So if you do your second playthrough, you'll notice that those worlds that you saw were levels that you were going to eventually go through.
Really?
Every single one of them. Yep. I like noticed. I was like, oh my God, I've been to that planet. That's the one with Trudy. That's the one with the water station. That's the one in space. It's just like you could, if you go through it and you look very carefully, that's literally a preview of what's going to be in the game. But during that time when you're playing it for the first time, you don't really notice it. There's like a lot of stuff happening. So when I saw that, I was like, man, I wonder, would they actually do it? Would they actually be crazy enough to really just freaking rift open a new one and really go through the different eras of Ratchet and Clank games? And in some cases we did see a little bit of it. We saw those little slime monsters. I know that was I think that was in Going Commando. Yeah, I think that was in Going Commando originally. But it's just, I feel like there's so much more they could have done, man. It's just like there's just so many things they could have pulled from, especially when you're going this route of ripping dimensions and different timelines. I hate to say it, but I'm going to bring Spider-Verse into this. It's just like you have
timelines. Wait a second. I don't think it goes like back and forth in time. It just goes to different
dimensions. Okay.
So you couldn't go back to the previous Ratchet and Clank games. It's just stuff that's happening
at that current time. Well, yeah. Okay. I mean,
actually, wait. Hold on. I'll put that back. You know why?
Why?
Blizzard Prime. You remember that crystal?
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's true.
So no.
So never mind. No,
they could.
They could. But imagine, right? If it wouldn't have to be like a full level if they don't want to. But just imagine if there was a part of the game where you're fighting Dr. Nefarious and you're ripping through the different dimensions of like different Ratchet and Clank games. And you know how jarring it would be to see like the super high res model of like Ratchet and Rivet. And then going through like maybe some of the older level, like just even brief glimpses of the older levels in previous games.
With those graphics too?
Yes. Just like that's what I was. Evil Land. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, there is just so much they could do with this. Like,
I mean, they could. They might.
Ratchet and Clank has been out for over 2 decades now. They have enough material to work with. They could really do something here.
Why did they ever think about that?
I don't know. That's the thing. We'll never know. I mean, what they delivered was awesome, but I'm just like, man, this is just like, for me, this feels like just an appetizer.
I would have never even thought about that.
Yeah, that was like the kind of things I was thinking. Maybe it's because of like, the whole Spider-Verse thing, and then when we played Bayonetta a couple months ago, just like because we had discussions about this before. It's just there's so many things that they could do, and again, this isn't really like a super big negative, but it's just something I would really, really like to see. I think a lot of fans of Ratchet and Clank would love to see them really just take this theme and just go wild with it, So, yeah, that's something that I would really want to see if they continue this theme of dimensions and timelines and everything and rifts, because there's just so much they could do. It's kind of crazy. Just imagine a Ratchet and Clank game with like freaking a lot of the weapons from all the games just in one massive game. Maybe that would be like their swan song for the series.
That seems like a final game.
Yeah, like a finale, but you never know. But yeah, that was one thing that kind of just crept through my mind. Not really a dislike or anything, but just something. But it's like if they had taken that step, my God, this game would be in a different level. It should be a 10. But yeah. What about you, Noxo? What was your one thing?
Oh yeah, well, this is easy. So as much as I like the level design and the planets themselves, a lot of planets were too short compared to previous Ratchet and Clank games. And obviously, how will I fix this? Just make them longer. Just add more meat.
Give us more meat.
Because if you notice, like the Pirate Planet, Cordelia, and Torrent 5, like I would say like those 3 planets compared to the previous ones were just it felt like way too short.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how you felt about the length of the planets, but if you go back and play like the original series, it's just like they're longer.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Plus, if you're not doing 100% and you're just proceeding through the story, just completing the main objective, yeah, these planets are very short.
Yeah, I think that was one complaint. The game is short to a lot of people compared to other Ratchet and Clanks. That's like one of the reasons I also got a platinum trophy, because it was pretty easy to go back to those planets.
Yeah. What's interesting is they could have. What's the planet with Trudy? What's that called?
Sargasso.
Yeah, Sargasso. Like for instance, Sargasso, they do a return trip to it, and it's still technically the same level, but it's being ravaged by like freaking robots and everything. But it's just like you return to the same level, but it's a little bit different. Kind of bring it like a little bit of a fresh perspective. They could have done it with some of the other planets too, like the one where you get the hover boots. Like they could have.
Savali.
Wait, they actually they did technically they did. But you know what I mean? Like they could have reused some of the planets, or maybe like reused a portion of it.
I think in the older games they reuse the planets a little bit more.
Yeah, or give you a reason to come back, like optional missions. Because I don't think.
I think in a few Sargasso.
Yeah, Sargasso and
Is that the only one?
That's not main.
And no, there's the arena one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean. But other than that doesn't count. Not really, right? Mm-hmm. You don't really return to do like an optional quest or something. So yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
a little bit more meat.
Yeah, how come I couldn't go back and there's like a new version of the pirate amusement park rides?
you know how great that would be? They revamped it.
Yeah, I want to play a new Simon Says.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that wasn't like in a trophy.
Yeah, or they could have done that. What is that giant robot's name? The Collector or something? I remember his name. Like that dude.
That was in the Torn 4.
Yeah, in Torn 4. And then, Clank kind of helps him realize, it's okay. Just fixed. I mean, sometimes it's okay, with that's how you are. And it's okay to accept that, just be yourself. Just like doing another mission with him would have been interesting. Like maybe it can help you access a different portion of the planet. I don't know. There's just like
I thought it was short.
There's so much they could have done.
Super short.
Yeah. So I see what you mean. Fair enough.
Just one more of it. Okay. Passing it to you.
All right. For me. Man, this is so stupid. Or maybe it isn't. For me, okay, listen. Ratchet and Clank, it has been known to have a lot of weapons. So I would really appreciate it if the game gave you, how do you say, faster ways to get to these weapons. Because right now, you're 2 ways to get to your weapons. Actually 3, technically. You can either hold triangle, go through that weapon wheel, there's like 3 of them, or you can use the up, down, left, right directional to access the weapon, or you can double tap triangle, I think, to like pick between your first and last weapon. But I was like thinking, I feel like, and it's up to them. Like if they even threw it as an option, that would be great. Like I was thinking, like maybe they could have the inputs where you can have 2 weapons on a directional. So if you pressed right directional twice, you would pick the second weapon. So it's like just
they could definitely have that. There's games that have something like that.
I just want like more options.
Because I had to press triangle a lot to go to certain. Because there's 3 different weapon wheels.
Yeah, and I know you can move it around the weapon wheel, which is it's awesome. I'm glad they added that.
You're only limited to 4.
Yes, and I just want more. If you're gonna give us all these weapons to cycle through, and the game's trying to encourage you to kind of experiment and just mess with all the different weapons, I kind of want more ways to equip these weapons like faster without having to pause and take me out of the action of the game. So it's just like again, it's a small thing. Adding that double tap directional would be great. I think that's very doable, very plausible. I'm kind of curious how the PC port is going to handle weapon selects. especially if mouse and keyboard are set, because technically
it'd be funny if it's easier because they have a 1 through 9.
All exactly. All the number keys could be a weapon. We'll see though. But I mean, as we're going through this game, like we said earlier, this is the PS5 version of the game, so who knows? Maybe they address it in the PC port. But yeah, that's my thing. Give us more options on how to select and equip these weapons. What about you, Noxo? What's your last one?
Wow. Actually.
Oh, wait a second. I just realized.
Second one. This is the second one.
This is the second one? Okay, just kidding.
Yeah, second one.
I didn't say the big one.
No, this is the second one.
Okay.
So my second one is that there is no Cragger Bear tracker.
Oh, dun, dun,
all right.
Dun.
So there's a lot of different trackers in the game for everything that you collect: Lorbs, the gold boats, the spy bots.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, the Cragger Bears that you collect throughout each planet, there's no tracker at all in the game. And I got like 4 out of or 5 out of 9. Then I honestly, I try to look, like I give it a good try to remember each planet where I got it from. It's like I remembered, but like some planets, it's like pretty difficult to know.
Yeah.
So I had to look up the rest. So no shame.
Yeah.
No shame in admitting that.
Those trackers doesn't make any sense. I don't know what made them think that was a good idea to not include a tracker for that.
Yeah, that is weird.
And it doesn't even give you anything either. That's another thing. Like there's no purpose to it. It's just a trophy.
Like, what a point of those?
You couldn't just give me like a bear outfit or something? Or a bear?
Ooh, a Cragger Bear outfit.
Cragger Bear launcher? I don't know. Something.
Yeah. I wish they could have just did more with the Cragger Bear stuff, like in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, how I fix it? Just add a tracker.
Add a tracker.
That's easy.
Simple as that.
And if you want to go further ahead, like Tubby said, just give it a purpose. Like a weapon or outfit or something like that.
Yeah. Let us attack with the Cragger Bear. Turn into a wrench. Hitting with the stuffed animal.
Ooh, dang, that's good. Dang, you should be on.
Yeah.
Insomniac team.
And you hit enemies with it. Super high knockback. It'll be funny.
Ooh, and then when they die, stuffing comes out.
Yep. Genius.
How about you? What's your final?
I mean, I had to say this. I'm sorry. Sorry, game. But one of the dislikes I had is, again, this is very far and few between, but the game can definitely be buggy. And some bugs are definitely worse than others. The biggest one, and this is a warning to anyone who's playing the game, once you reach planet Ardolis, aka the pirate planet, just be sure not to die when you get the Captain Starshield boots, because apparently it is a known bug. The developers even know this too, that once you get these boots and you die shortly afterwards, you can bug the game to the point where the armor actually disappears, even though you collected it. And on your gameplay, it'll state that you've collected it. And you can even 100% the game with it being collected, but it will actually not show up in your inventory if you die. So the most important thing is once you get those boots, you hit a checkpoint and then you're pretty much safe. But if you die before reaching the next major checkpoint, it's kind of over. You bugged yourself out of the boots. I did not know that. And by the time I got to the end of the game, I 100%ed, and then it's just like, yeah, I didn't have the boots.
At least it didn't count towards a trophy. If it did, that'd be effed up.
Yeah, that'd be even worse. But it's just like, it's one of those things where it's just like it's always gonna be there. It's gonna be 100%, but that spot where the boots are supposed to be will always be empty. I'll never be able to equip it or get the bonus from it, which I think was experience, right?
Yeah,
the boots experience towards leveling up weapons and stuff. So
yep.
Very unfortunate. Like that made me a little sad when that happened. I was like, man, am I crazy? I thought I collected these. And then I looked into it, and Apparently, that's a pretty big bug. Hopefully, they fix it in the PC port. So, hopefully, whoever's playing the PC version, they don't have to deal with that.
There's no way it could be there.
Could you mod the boots back in though? Technically. So maybe it's not that bad. Other than that, the only other like consistent bug I encountered was when you would go to the shop, sometimes the video previews for the weapons would get disabled. Like you just can't view it. Like
I never had that happen.
That's weird because it happened to me more often than I would like to admit. And you actually need to quit out of the game, go back to the title menu, and jump back in to see it. It was weird. And it sucks because you don't want to miss out on these weapon previews because each of them star Richard Steven Horvitz, who plays as Zircon Jr., and he's the guy who voiced Raz from Psychonauts, Billy.
Yeah.
Zim.
As I heard it.
Just a very iconic voice, but man, just listening to him as he's screaming, laughing, and just crying maniacally while explaining how each of the weapons work, it's just, God, that was like one of the things I always looked forward to in the game, and it would suck when the preview doesn't even pop up, just a black screen. So yeah, that's another thing. If you run into that bug, just quit your game and jump back in. So yeah. No, those are my things. Just the game breaking, not really game breaking, but just the buggy portions of the game. Again, far and few in between, but really the major one is the boots one. Like that really, I left a little sour taste in my mouth. But yeah, how about you, Nakuso? Oh, how to fix it? Patch the bugs. Okay, Nakuso, about you?
All right, last one is I wish the game was a little harder.
Got him.
I'm not trying to be a tough guy or anything, but compared to actually, no, this is actually a general consensus when I was looking it up. The game is pretty easy on the second hardest difficulty. I did change it to the hardest difficulty during my second playthrough, and you do take a lot more damage, and it's like, man, probably should have played on the hardest. Because I could swear like the hardest difficulty is like the medium difficulty of like the classic games.
No, you're right, 100%.
Because you take like 23 damage or something on the hardest for one hit, compared to it's less on the second hardest difficulty. And yeah, I mean, the only issues I ever had with difficulty within Rift Apart was during the arena challenges. That
was great though. I enjoyed that.
Hold up.
The
arena is way easier in the classic games.
Oh yeah. I mean,
dude.
100%.
You remember? Oh God, was it RP Arsenal? It was like that gauntlet. There was like 20 different levels you had to go through. Yeah,
there was so much depth to it too. Like it was,
and there was like platforming too. Remember?
Yep.
There was actually platforming within the levels, within the arenas that you had to go through.
I mean, they had rifts in this one, but not quite the same.
Oh, they could have used the rifts, more
in a different way.
Arenas, but yeah. Just in general, I wish the game gave you something different.
Yes, this game is baby mode.
I just
kidding. I just joking.
I still died sometimes.
I know, me too. I died.
I mean, but by the end, like the second, or maybe third last planet, I don't think I died at all. I was broken. I had the rhino.
Hey, classic. Yep. Once you get the rhino, it's already over.
I used to rhino on the last boss.
Nice, me too.
But yeah, how I fixed it? I would say just how the difficulty. This is kind of weird because I feel like the game in some parts is harder, but in other parts it feels like the difficulty balance throughout the game isn't there.
Yeah. I mean, the most we died was the arena, and it was the weapon-specific ones.
One. The Eviscerator and the Warmonger for me.
Yeah, same here. Nope, those are the exact same ones I ran into.
Yeah, and also the Gold Cup, that was the easiest. Wow, what's going on here?
Oh, man. Gold Cup,
yeah. I didn't die during the whole Gold Cup, but I died during the Silver and Bronze Cup, which is super weird.
Yeah, I remember those hoverboard sections in the original game were a little bit more challenging too.
And also, they didn't bring it back, and I'm sad.
Which one?
An arena, the no hit challenge.
Oh, yeah. That's a staple, actually. You're right.
Yeah. Also, the arena is shorter in this game.
Yeah.
Compared to the. But anyway, I don't want to go on too long.
You could do a whole section about the arena.
Yeah, you could. How would I fix it? Just make the difficulty balance, the difficulty curve throughout the game more streamlined. It gets harder towards the end. Have the difficulties for the second and last one a little bit more damage. Also, just in the damage and like damage to you and damage to enemies. Something I dislike when games do, like Hi-Fi Rush, or it's a game that we played this year. It actually adds different moves to characters to the enemies and bosses. So it's not just stats
or damage.
You also have to looking for animations and like that's the easy way to do it. But if you want to go a step beyond that, you like add new enemies, you add new animations, you make the bosses have a new gimmick, something like that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Let's move on to the last question. Question 5. What is your final verdict and final rating from 0 to 10 using a 0.5 scale? All right. So for me, I mean, no other way to say it. Ratchet and Clank is a terrible game. No, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is an amazing game. And for those of you who have been on the fence about whether or not you should play it, it's easy. The answer is easy. You should just play it. Especially with the recent announcement of the PC port coming soon. Like, it's definitely should play it. This game is Ratchet and Clank in its purest form, firing off on all cylinders. Like, this is the cleanest game I have ever seen in terms of the combat, and I would probably say it is the most accessible Ratchet and Clank game to date. The game is fun, it's chaotic, and it has reminded me why I love the Ratchet and Clank series. Despite the boots not appearing, but it's okay. So
that's bad.
That is bad. I'm still a little sad about that. But I am, like I said before, I am curious to see where they will go from here if they were to make another game. Like I said,
like they might.
Yeah,
it's a big possibility they might.
Because once you're doing that whole time dimension sort of thing, like that's usually a sign that you're reaching the end of a game series or franchise. Because usually by the time you reach that point, it's like at that stage you're kind of you're wrapping it up and you're paying homage to everything within the series. And I have a feeling that is where they're heading with this franchise. I could be wrong though. Who knows? But if they were to do it and they were to give us like the final Ratchet and Clank game soon or within the next 20 years, I don't even know anymore. I feel like they have a lot to work with. They got a lot to play with. I want them to give us the Spider-Verse of the Ratchet and Clank universe. I think it might be time. With that said though, I'm going to give Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart an 8.5 out of 10. I was really bouncing back between 9 and an 8.5, but I can't ignore the boots thing, man. Like that is such a bummer for that to happen. And the fact that they haven't patched it and it's been like 2 years, they had plenty of time to do it. But yeah, that's me. The game is great though. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm giving a really sad 8.5. Like, this is a really confident 8.5, potentially a 9. Maybe the PC port, I'd give it a 9. But yeah, no, this game is awesome. Definitely, you guys should definitely go play it. What about you, Noxo? What would you give it?
This game, actually, before you do that, quick question.
No. Okay.
Where would you rank this game among the other Ratchet and Clanks?
It is the greatest.
Where would it be placed?
Number 1, because I can't remember the other ones as well as I thought I could.
Dang.
It would definitely be in my top 5. There you go. Somewhere there. Right. I had to really sit down and think about it. What about you?
For me, this game, I would give this a solid 9 out of 10.
All right.
This is actually one of my favorite Ratchet and Clank games. I actually liked this game in a lot of ways more than a feature series.
All right, sick.
Specifically because the gameplay. like the gameplay and the planets, I just liked more.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly in Rift Apart. I like Rivet. Cool character.
Bet
She's
you
like
do.
she's like the
Yeah,
she
yeah.
has
The
that
feisty.
personality. Yeah, of the original Ratchet, not to that degree, but there's some remnants there. It's nice.
Yeah.
And I just think it's cool to play between two different characters.
Mm-hmm.
And just in general, I just feel like the game, the way they're going, like the story elements, it seems like they went in a little bit different direction in terms of having that silliness from the classic games, and also that more seriousness of the future games. Yep. I think they did a good job blending these over, and I can't wait to see what they do, or if they do a sequel, and how they go from here. So I would rank this game, if I had to rank it among the other Ratchet and Clank games, this would go straight behind the classic series. So number 4 on my list.
All right. Respect.
Actually, wait a second. No, it would go number 3. I'm thinking of back to the original Ratchet and Clank, and that game, the controls were.
What, you couldn't move when you threw the wrench?
Oh my god. There was a lot of stuff. You couldn't strafe.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
There were some weapons where you had to stand still.
Yeah.
But had it happen. It had to happen.
Yeah, it was the first game though.
Yep.
And they did learn.
It had
but,
to.
But in terms of like now, yeah, this would be behind going commando and up your arsenal.
Oh yeah. For sure. Great. Good stuff. Okay. With that said, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart gets our final average rating of 87.5% or 17.5 out of 20. So yeah, definitely play the game when the PC port comes out. Actually, and I'm pretty confident it'll be pretty smooth. I mean, I think we looked it up. That team, I forgot their name, but whoever's porting it has been successful with Horizon and a couple of other games. So yeah, definitely check out the PC port of this if you are a PC Master Race gamer. But enough of that. Nakuso, do you know what time it is?
It is bonus mystery question time.
Woo!
Who will be the bonus mystery question answerer or asker?
I don't know, man.
Will it be me or will it be Tubby Mora?
Or will it be a third unknown entity? Has yet to happen. We never know.
You just have an AI voice.
I just call someone up on my cell. Go like, hey, you have a question about Ratchet and Clank? I don't even know what that is. Well, ask me a question anyway. Just kidding. All right, switching over to the Wheel of Mystery. Spinning the Wheel of Mystery in 3, 2, 1, spin. Oh boy. Oh shoot. Please don't pick me. No, why me? I'm dying. Good stuff. You already know what I'm gonna ask.
Uh-oh.
In Ratchet and Clank, what weapon? I'm just joking. I'm not gonna be the meme. We're not gonna ask a weapon-based question. Okay.
It makes sense.
It does make sense, but I don't want to do it. I got a different question for you. This will be kind of interesting too. Kind of curious what you're gonna pick. I don't even know what I'm gonna pick. So my question is, it's this. So let's say Ratchet and Clank rifted open a new one, but they rifted a little bit too hard, and they accidentally landed themselves onto another video game series that's PlayStation exclusive. PlayStation platform. What game would they rift themselves on? Huh?
Good question. I had the same one.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Good. Great minds think alike then. But yeah.
So you're asking basically what crossover Sony universe for Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, and think about it in the context of this game. Like, again, it doesn't have to be like the whole game is on that world, but maybe like a section of that game could be placed into this game somehow.
I answer already.
Yeah. Well, either way, I'll still throw in that 60-second timer because I need to think of something. Okay, starting the 60-second timer now. I was very surprised when they added this into the Ratchet and Clank game, and it was on the pirate level where you had to sing. Where you were pretty much Ratchet and Clank, they had to sing and copy what the animatronics were doing, basically. Mm-hmm. And there's only one other PlayStation exclusive that I could think of that did that, and that is Easy Clap Parappa the Rapper. I don't know how exactly they would incorporate it, but it would just be so entertaining to just see these super high level detailed Ratchet and Clank models against like a flat paper world like Ratchet and Clank. And of course, the world that they would have to kind of like rift open would be the first level of Ratchet and Clank. That's like the most iconic. That's the Chop Chop Master Onion rap. And I just think it would be so sick. Even for a brief moment, they were just rapping along with the Parappa and Chop Chop Master Onion, and they had to rap hard enough, get that awesome meter going, and that would be the only way to open up the rift. Or sorry, I think it was the cool meter. That would be the only way. They have to rap like they never rapped before. Rap a rift, a new one. And I just think it would be sick. But yeah, that's mine. Plus, a part of me also just wants more Parappa the Rapper. I want to see that series come back to life at some point, since it was such an iconic series for the music game genre. But yeah, Naxo, what about you? How would they riff?
This is easy. This is like something that everyone talked about. I talked about this with my friend during the PlayStation 2 era. There was references in the games, on the billboard.
Ah, that's easy. Oh, of course you would.
Of course I would. Knack 3.
Yes. Finally. Knack 3.
That's so easy. This is like something they had to think about. Jak and Daxter is so it's easy. It makes so much sense now, though, with the whole rifts and the dimensions.
Does it?
Like we said, the possibilities of going through different dimensions.
Ah, you're right. Wait, wasn't there a crossover game at one point between the three of them, or no? Am I imagining things? No, never happened. It's probably just a commercial trailer. Commercial.
Yeah. That'd be so great. The chemistry between the characters going into different worlds. They had to swap worlds.
Yeah.
Maybe Ratchet and Clank be so broken. Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, I know. Ratchet could be like, "Hey, Jak, what's up, buddy?" And then Jak would be like, "I had to kill Drax."
Whoa, wait.
I gotta kill him. Whoa, buddy, what's wrong? I just want to kill everything.
And also, was it just... Okay. I was thinking of a reboot Ratchet. Jak and Daxter.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Not the edgy Jak.
But I mean, Jak and Daxter also dealt with time stuff, so it also makes sense.
Actually, it would make a lot of sense. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Dude, it'd be so cool. Like, this is they're doing stuff in their different worlds, and like just the interaction. I just want to see those characters interact, honestly.
Or can you imagine if they did like another Ratchet and Clank game? They do the whole Rift thing again. They do what I said about the whole opening up universes to their own game series, the Ratchet and Clank series, and then like at the very, very end, the credits roll, and then they open up a rift, and you see a like a precursor or something. Something to signify that another Jack game is being made. Boom! Instant hype.
Like that's how did they include the new Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, that would be insane. Man, that's a lot of copium, dude.
I would think. Okay, I would think what would make it even sicker is you in the next game at the end they have something like that, but then I would think a reboot. They should do a reboot. Naughty Dog,
the series,
to kind of lead up to that
crossover. The SCU, the Sony Cinematic Universe.
No, I'm good.
No, okay.
That's what Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank.
That would be a crossover.
That'd be sick.
You have weapons. You know what, Jack? If you want to do a reboot or not, have weapons in the second and third games. You can swap weapons. Yeah.
Oh man, if they were really crazy, they could do the trio. Ratchet
I'm down.
Clank, Jack and Daxter. It's like Sony's 3 best studios. Yeah, you're right. That's a lot of copium. That's too much. That's like something driven as a kid. But yeah, that's a good one. I knew you were gonna pick that too. So I was like, I'll let you have it. That is probably the greatest crossover that we're all still waiting for, though. Ah, man. Okay. Well, ready to wrap it up?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, before we wrap it up, and before we conclude this episode, it's time to spin the Wheel of Mystery one more time to determine who will be selecting the next game for VGBC. Spinning the Wheel of Mystery in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my god! Who is it gonna be? 50-50! Wow!
Oh my god!
Alright, gamers. I have the power now.
Uh-oh.
And this is something you were not expecting. No one was expecting. The game that I am going to nominate for VGBC episode 46 will be the one, the only, Harry Potter. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the GBA. Amen.
Hey,
yeah.
For the GBA?
I don't even know. And because I don't know, I need to pick a different game. And the game I'm going to go with is this, Nuxel, you might have heard of it. It's called Street Fighter 6. I'm pretty sure that's a 6. Street Fighter 6 is the official VGBC game. Potentially number 46. Now,
by the way, there is a Game Boy Advance.
Oh, could have won. Well, I was just joking. I had my fingers crossed when I said it. Street Fighter 6 is the next VGBC game. But
oh my god, really?
We have uncovered and discovered that Street Fighter 6, at least the main campaign, the World Tour mode, actually goes over 20 hours approximately. So technically, another game has to be nominated that's shorter than 20 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, so we have to spin the wheel again. We're going back in. We're going in second time. I don't even know why I still spin this wheel when we already know there's only one person, but we got to make it official. So
right.
It's just a meme at this point. Okay. All right. Got the wheel up again. There's really a lot of options here. So you never know who's going to win. So this specific game, because Street Fighter 6 is longer than 20 hours for the World Tour mode, the main campaign, whoever wins this spin gets to pick a much shorter game that's less than 20 hours. So spin the wheel now. 3, 2, 1, spin. Can't even hear the... It's so sad. No way, dude. Congratulations. You're good. Noxel, how does it make you feel that you're going to be the only person in VGBC history to win twice in a row with a 100% win rate?
Well, you know what they say.
What did they say?
Chivalry is dead.
All right, man. What you got? What's your game?
A game that I always wanted to play.
Act 3.
A game that I love and enjoy.
Yeah.
And the game that I'm gonna pick.
Yeah.
Is My Friend Pedro.
Wow, the banana game. My Friend Pedro. Okay. Well, there it is. There you have it, folks. So Video Game Book Club, game number 46 will be My Friend Pedro, followed by Street Fighter 6. That will be VGBC number 47. So yeah, there you go. Those will be the next games. Okay. Well, before we wrap it up here, I just want to say thank you. This concludes this episode of Video Game Book Club. Thank you for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this podcast, feel free to like, follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Patreon, whatever platform you can find us on. Links in the description box below. And if you have played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, definitely let us know what you would give it in the comment section below, because I would like to do that series, the second opinion series, but again, we need more responses. So far, only one person has said something in regards to Hades, so we're looking for more people to participate. And if not, it's cool. It's cool. We'll just keep doing our thing. With that said, though, take care. Have a good one. We'll catch you in the next episode of Video Game Book Club. Say goodbye, everyone, and Nakuso.
All right. See you later. Until next time, everyone.